Selflessness is the new selfish. Protect your peace. As someone who grew up shaped by the people around me, not even taught how to be, but literally molded into a personality based off all the beliefs and fears of my family, and an ex-people pleaser. I've always had such a bad way of being able to discreet someone overstepping my boundary, and even me just setting boundaries for myself. I'm turning 23 in a few days, and I'm not scared to admit that I think I'm finally giving myself the respect that I've always deserved. I've always thought that I earned it. That was my first mistake. Earned. You don't earn things. You give yourself them first. Whatever it is that you want in life, you give it to yourself first, internally. Then you shall receive it externally. I promise you that if you go your whole life people-pleasing, you go your whole life without even finding out what it is that you want, putting boundaries, you're never going to find true happiness. Maybe I'm just 23, but I know someone who's 63, and she did exactly this. She can't be saved anymore. I've tried to help, to save, but all I can do now is just make sure that I use her as a subtle reminder of the sacrifice, as a subtle reminder of what happens when you sacrifice your peace for the likes of someone else. That someone is my mother. It's funny too, because the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I sort of started that way. But I really think that when your calling is so high that it literally penetrates through the noise, you can't miss it. The only way you could possibly miss it if you just straight up ignore it. I always knew that I was meant for something great. And moving across the country by myself to New York City from Texas is very eye-opening. I really thought that I was already developing into a better person, but you see, I was just developing into the person that everybody expected me to be. And among that, there was a lot of discomfort. Never could really tell why, but I guess now I'm starting to find out why. Because I was setting up myself to live for others, not myself. Right now I'm in a hotel room in Upstate New York. And it's really funny because I've been reconnecting with nature more. I really love coming to quieter places. And today's Thanksgiving. I was yearning for my family a little bit. Even thought, why didn't I just book a flight back to Texas? Even just for the weekend. As selfish as this sounds, to remind myself why I came here. Because it will cost me. Because it costed me my mental health to be among my own family. And I wouldn't trade that. No matter how expensive New York City is and all that stuff, nothing is more expensive than your mental health being traded for your peace. To live in environments that literally drain you. We are all energy forces. We're human beings with energy within us. And I promise you that mental drainage, it's like sucking blood out of your bloodstream. There's a vampire in there. There's energy vampires. So I FaceTimed my mother. She was at my sister's, and I asked, let me see her kids. Let me see my brother-in-law. Let me say hi to everybody. And I was just sharing, my experience here. I was like, yeah, I had a smooth ride. I had a smooth ride. I like it here. It's really quiet. I'm right in front of the Hudson River. It's beautiful. Tomorrow I'm going to go out and do things. I'm just expressing how at peace I am and how happy I am that I took this decision to spend my Thanksgiving returning home to myself. And among that came projection from my brother-in-law. It was very uncalled for, I'll say. He just began rambling about financial irresponsibility, and he took over the narrative the moment that he started to change the topic of what I was talking about. And it was until the moment that he said, well, I am a hard worker, and once he said I, and it wasn't about you anymore, I cut the line. I'm very polite. I can't be cold, and I'll never change my ways, but I will. But I will be very selective of how far you're going to take me. So I just kept nodding and smiling, saying, okay. I feel like I was feeling him more, to be honest. It's like putting wood into the fire pit, literally just giving him more wings. And once he changed the narrative, which I already perceived that he made this about him, and the moment he made the narrative very clear that it was about him, I looked at my phone and I said, oh, I have an important call. I'm going to hang up. I'll call you guys later. I hung up. I put my phone on airplane mode. And I went on about my day. Old me would have shrinked. Old me would have argued, would have felt belittled, would have even rethought everything. But not anymore. Because that version of me was the one that was allowed to be shaped and molded by everybody else. And now I choose who I want to be. Even if I don't know exactly who I am right now, it's part of the human experience and part of being in your 20s. You're exploring yourself. Let yourself be. It's only selfish when you don't put yourself first. That's the only selfishness in anything that you do for yourself. When you don't put yourself first, your needs first, that's selfish. Selflessness is to come back home to yourself. Is to give yourself that respect that you already obtain. You don't need to earn it. You deserve it. Give it to yourself. And I know it's hard. But don't let yourself be molded by other people. My whole life, my whole personality. When I came to New York City, I thought I was ready. Because I've been constantly developing into the person who could sustain that life. And to my surprise, New York City has been a mirror these past 5 months that I've been living here. It's shown me the ugly, the raw, the shadows, my potential. Most importantly, it's taught me that my peace is my most valuable asset in my life. Because if I can live my life in peace, in serenity, and know how to protect it, I am by far the most powerful that I could ever be. And that comes with God too. But learn to protect your peace. It's only selfish when you don't put yourself first. To be selfless is to return to yourself.